The royal coronation is perhaps unknown to you and most of Equestria. However, it is important that you know where you are and why you are here. This is Canterlot, where for more than a millennia, the royal sisters have ruled the land and brought forth the rising of the sun and moon. This convocation of creatures from all over Equestria is where you will bear witness to the new rule of Equestria here amongst the hallowed halls of Canterlot. And such a distinguished title couldn't go to a more deserving mayor, Twilight Sparkle. Twilight. But more about Twilight later. All about Twilight, in fact. Now, there are many distinguished individuals observing this occasion, such as this handsome stallion. This is MasterCode, Ace Analyst, super sexy stallion of the stars. He is the smartest, most handsomest critic to ever grace this world, and all the mayors want to make out in droves and... wait, hang on, I didn't write this.
Sure you did, you just, don't remember.
Nope, I'm pretty sure this was altered.
Look, just keep going, alright?
Alright, fine. Anyway, another distinguished individual in attendance is Silver-Quill, the Hippogriff. I shall deal with you later. As I was saying, this is Silver-Quill, the Hippogriff, who was a griff long before it was cool, also an analyst in attendance, although he prefers to be called a reviewer. Silver-Quill has a big butt, which smells, and he likes to kiss his own... Oh, you are on thin ice, Sonny!
You said you kissed your own butt!
I'm hitting the abridgment button.
Oh, fine.
Twilight Sparkle, the Princess of Friendship, who now stands upon the precipice on the next stage of her life, to rule all of Equestria. Twilight Sparkle, you know all about Twilight. What can there be to know that you don't know?
Known also as Bookhorse or Sparklebutt. This Alicorn mare...
Boy, quit interrupting my narration.
It's my turn for a narration, you overgrown pigeon.
You lack the super smexy voice required for such an event.
That's it. Let's dance, you pathetic paltry poultry.
I'm gonna give you one for.
Okay, maybe we took it a bit too far.
Perhaps we should just discuss the finale episode's actual.
Agreed. Let's, mosey on to the courtroom.
Oh, I'm gonna be sore tomorrow.
Right behind you, big butt.
Shush!
The Legion of Doom plots Equestria's downfall. Hold it!
The Mayo!
What are you doing?
Ordering lunch. I'm trying to cut down on dairy.
That's not... Whatever, moving on. Well, here we are, 9 seasons, 200 plus episodes later, and we finally reached the conclusion of Friendship is Magic. What began with a young mare going to Ponyville and learning the magic of friendship has led to her and her newfound friends to spread their knowledge of friendship to ponies and creatures all around Equestria, with Bookhorse eventually becoming the princess of friendship. Though the show has had some missteps along the way, overall the stories are engaging, the characters from the main 6 to supporting are 3-dimensional and interesting, the animation is gorgeous, and relatable morals that got quite deep at sometimes. My Little Pony G4 Friendship is Magic is truly a remarkable children's show that has left a lasting impact on so many people.
I remember the wars. The Flame Wars. Lauren Faust is leaving the show. The show is dead. Twilight gets wings. The fandom is dead. Equestria Girls is a thing. The fandom and the show are proclaimed dead. Starlight Glimmer joins the show, dead fandom. Now the show is reaching its conclusion. People are like, the fandom is no more. It has ceased to be. It has shuffled off the plane to join the choir invisible. This is an ex-fandom. Meanwhile, the actual fandom is still going on, still creating, and is still fun. We've reached the point where even Optimus Prime is all like, guys, maybe tone down the dead talk.
He doesn't sound like that.
He should.
So it appears that the fruits of Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Cozy Glow's plans are finally coming to fruition as they are finally ready to take over the world.
Of course!
Just as Grogar returns, they finally discover the spell to utilize his bell's power, using it on themselves, and even drains the goat of all his power. But in a shocking twist, we find out that Grogar is actually Granny Goodness!
No, it's not.
Okay, fine. We find out who is the true master behind this.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch! What?
Incorrect.
Alright, fine. The real culprit. Ow! Why? Oh, please, we all know you're just going to make another stupid cutaway joke. Judge, you wound me. I would never do anything like that. Right. Mr. Quill, would you please reveal the true being, the one that brought the trio together?
Why, of course, Judge Buttbeard.
What?
We discovered that Grogar is none other than...
John C!
Worth it.
That was unexpected.
So, Discord was Grogar the whole time. Huh. Well, looking back at the aftermath of the original Canterlot attack in the Season 9 opener, Discord revealed he possessed the power the whole time to destroy Sombra and merely feigned injury. Or as he put it,
you just had an extremely good-looking safety net.
Now, I know a lot of people had a problem with Grogar suddenly revealed to be Discord after everything established in the opener, but looking back on the episode now, honestly, I think it was rather brilliant. Granted, upon first viewing, it does come out of nowhere, being that there weren't any clues or hints throughout the season that it was Discord, other than the fact that his disappearances with the Triad does actually line up perfectly with other episodes, but that's not much to go on.
Loud noises!
What?
Isn't that what you're supposed to say when you interrupt?
You are really bad at this.
Anywho, look back at some of the earlier episodes, including the season premiere.
Now's the part where you all tell little Sparkle here that everything is going to be fine, but she won't believe you. Ugh.
And right after that, the villains start getting together. In hindsight, it was a traceable event, but we were locked into our own ideas. I too was confused when Grogar, the biggest bad in Equestria's history, was suddenly, dare I say, downgraded? The funny thing is that we're still going to get to see Grogar's power on display, but not its expression. Instead, that raw power is going to be shown through the last 3 villains. Though I'm okay with doing this in the long run because we've had 2 previous episodes showing their dynamic. So it feels like I've been on a journey with them more than with Grogar. Still, I'd love to see what kind of damage the Ram could do.
Indeed, that would have been cool. So back to the big reveal. It actually still works from a story standpoint. I was going to argue at first that all the setup with Grogar and his backstory was made entirely pointless with this sudden revelation. This, however, is trumped by 2 facts. 1. Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and Tyrek all had previous rivalries with Twilight and her friends, being thwarted by them on 1 or more occasions. The 3 all have previously established hatred of the main 6, so there's much greater dramatic tension. Grogar has no such direct connection. Sure, he brought all of Equestria's biggest threats back and shows his dislike of the girls, but that's pretty much all the guy has really done. So from a story standpoint, if they kept him actually as Grogar, then he would have just felt a little shoehorned into this final conflict, as he was just a passive observer who's bullied his way into another group's fight. Point 2, and most importantly, in terms of G4 canon, we don't know how much of Grogar's backstory he told the villains is actually true, like him being called the father of all monsters, or if his bell was actually how he was defeated.
Oh, that's going to be a painful point later.
Could have just been hearsay for all we knew. Let's take the Opera House scene from Revenge of the Sith, where Palpatine tells Anakin the tale of Darth Plagueis. We know that the story he tells is false or altered, as it's supposedly been passed down from different people, along with it being heavily implied that he's the apprentice who killed his master. But really, it's all just subtle manipulation to bring Anakin back to the dark side by offering him something that he needs to save his wife.
I have well over a dozen expanded universe novels that go into this with excruciating detail.
Please don't embarrass us any more than we have already. So in the end, everything we knew of Grogar could have just been one big fabrication. Whoa. Compounded by the fact it was told by a trickster and the spirit of chaos. Overall, I'm okay with this. As far as Discord shenanigans with this whole charade, I do understand his rationale behind this whole thing.
You wanted to boost Twilight's confidence, so you brought back Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, and Tyrek to attack her?
Don't forget Sombra.
And you're an idiot.
Yeah, not the brightest idea from the Draconiquus, and yet it's totally in character for him. Since the beginning, even before his reformation, he's always been immature, wielding his chaos magic recklessly like a child without consequences. He becomes jealous and egocentric when he's not the center of attention, believing he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, being the powerful spirit of chaos that he is. Like a matter of principles, Discord fell left out and takes matters into his own hands, asserting himself to quote-unquote help Starlight in his own way, thinking he knows what's best or how things should be. Even after confessing his screw-up, he still acts self-centered, caring more for the fact that his chaos magic is gone.
Chrysalis, Tyrek, and Cozy Glow now have all of the real Grogar's magic.
In what world is that good news?
Compared to me losing my powers, anything else is good news.
What an asshole!
He only thinks one step ahead, so as crazy and idiotic as it sounds, him gathering Equestria's greatest enemies for the sole purpose of having Twilight and her friends defeat them just to boost the Princess of Friendship's confidence in ruling Equestria doesn't really seem so far-fetched for the Lord of Chaos. Doesn't excuse his radical behavior, but it's totally believable for him.
That does not, however, absolve him of responsibility. a topic that will be hotly debated by this two-parter's end. Yet Discord is also staying true to the aspects of the trickster, thematics of death and rebirth, sometimes expressed through dismemberment, manipulating others to achieve a goal, and most of all damaging the world while being damaged himself. I think there's a line from Applejack that sums this up well.
For all the time you spent with us, you really haven't picked up too much in the way of friendship lessons, huh?
Discord's about 7 seasons behind Twilight in terms of understanding. This is basically his lesson 0.
If I can't find a friendship problem, I'll make a friendship problem.
Just dial it up to 20 because Discord's power means that his mistakes are much more explosive. Though I think it's important to distinguish a character making a bad choice and a bad character. Discord has made major mistakes, but that's a part of his character. A bad character is someone who makes terrible choices and never changed. A well-written character might double down on their decisions and become a greater antagonist, like Cozy Glow, or they might learn from their mistakes like Starlight, Stygian, Diamond Tiara, Tempest Shadow, Chancellor Naysay.
Are we quite done?
Hush now, I'm only 1/3 of the way through my list. Trixie, the Buffaloes, the Appaloosa Ponies, the Hooffields, the McColls.
Objection! Drawing out the joke. Sustained.
Buttbeard.
I will hold you in contempt.
Join the club, we have t-shirts.
Ooh, are they 100% cotton? Because I absolutely love those t-shirts. It just feels... I think it's time to get this show back on track.
Doesn't she look so adorably regal up there?
Our little Twilight, all grown up.
Celestia has essentially been a mother figure for Twilight ever since she was a foal, training her to study magic, pushing her out of her comfort zone to make friends, and has been available to provide advice whenever she needs it. Celestia, and to a lesser extent Luna, have watched her grow up, and like a college graduation ceremony, they're watching her move on to bigger and greater things. One of the critical elements that cements the finality of the series is just how the Alicorn has pretty much overcome her Twilighting, not letting the stress overcome her, even poking fun at her anxiety by joking on Rarity.
We're picking up the final touch for your après hors d'oeuvre gown.
Is that before or after the Royal Marshmallow Eating Contest gown?
What? I haven't made one of those! You must tell me when they add these sorts of things.
It's okay, Rarity. I was just joking.
Only when it's revealed the villains have escaped that, Twilight panics, but it's only a momentary lapse, realizing that all of her friends are there, and immediately puts together a plan of action showing just how well a leader she has become.
Which Cozy Glow destroys as easily as she takes apart the Royal Guard.
Where'd you get that? A daily affirmations calendar? Yeesh.
So now we have a 6th Alicorn. Remember when that used to be something unique? Still, it's nice to see an Alicorn gone bad who isn't possessed or driven mad. But she must test herself against the first wave.
Fatality. Flawless victory.
Flash, Magnus, and Shining Armor deserve a pay cut.
Yeah, with how inept these guards are, Celestia may as well just use cardboard cutouts.
Oh, this base is operating at full capacity, and if you come in here, you're gonna get into a big slap fight. This is your last warning. Stay out. And this is another warning. Yeah, freeze, intruder. Stop your intruding right there.
Seriously. Anyway, with a triad on the move, what follows is them enacting an absolute rampage all over Equestria, Cozy and Canterlot, T-Rex dominating the pillars, and Chrysalis fighting Starlight. It's cool we also get to see the resolution of the feud between these two, especially. The Queen's failure to wear him back again was a huge mark of shame on her, given to her by Starlight offering her friendship. This is actually an energetic and fast-paced battle, both meeting each other, attack for attack, with the snow environment giving an interesting battlefield. But again, what makes the battle so interesting is that previously established rivalry.
However, I would like to motion for a gag order. Starlight is not allowed to attempt any more one-liners.
You'll pay for that!
Put it on my tab.
Sustained.
Great, I'll get the duct tape.
Although something I noticed about the fight scenes in these episodes is that they are so much more brutal than usual. Usually physical attacks of any kind are censored in some way, but every time in these finale episodes when some pony is thrown to the ground, it feels realistic. You feel that impact. Or when they're hit by magical attacks like Starlight, you see the burns on her body, or watching Twilight get blown away with devastating force. The animators truly went all out for the finale's battles.
I'd say the fight between T-Rex and the Pillars is the most brutal. T-Rex always been the most violent villain. Even in his alternate future, he was burning the landscape. Here, he's just as brutal, if not more so, throwing the pillars into one another and laying the smackdown. Though his greatest damage might be to Rockhoof, who's suffering a little shrinkage.
Oh, run along. The big stallions are playing.
Savage.
After that savage attack, we continue with part 2, where Canterlot is in absolute ruins and every pony is captured. It is cool we get to see the crystal caves again from a Canterlot wedding. It was a unique set piece that acts as a prison for every pony. It's here though we see the Alliance start to fracture some more.
I could be so much more powerful if I just could have...
What do you mean you could be?
Hello? I'm the best one out of all of us. Nobody sees me.
What are you talking about?
The best at what?
There were disagreements, ambition, and hunger for power. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best.
All three have valid, logical ideas about how to proceed. It's just that the egos of all three get in the way and feels like an organic breakdown of the group. I like the back and forth between Discord and T-Rex. A battle of wits, once again between two egomaniacs, was so much fun. Though I thought it interesting that Discord insulted the guy, bringing up his father, King Vorak, who actually has only been mentioned in the comics. Though it's not necessary to read Friendship number 2, it does set the stage that since T-Rex was a teenager, he was always overambitious in his magical studies and had aspirations that young to one day rule Equestria.
Of course!
Cross-media continuity. What we also witness is the idea of a triad versus a trinity. A triad is stagnant because each power, in this case the three villains, is more or less equal and can't make a move without exposing themselves to attack from the other. Thus their plans hit a dead stop as they try to outmaneuver one another. A trinity is more like a dance. The members involved can interact and exchange without fear of losing themselves. It's a fitting way of showing how relying on mutual hostility might only work in the short term, but fall apart in the long run.
At this point, everything's gone downhill all over Equestria, again with all the pony races acting xenophobic towards each other.
I know it seems bad, but there's no need to panic.
Give us one good reason not to!
Because Ponyville's own heroes of Equestria are here to save us.
Hey, a representative shifting focus of a greater disaster into somebody else. She truly is a politician. Hey-o!